So that's
But
why
I looked
the
at her straight
when
in the
she
eyes,
looked at
and
me,
I said, "No
he
way
said,
you're
"Hey,
getting in here,
hey,
kid. All right,
you friggin'
you better leave
bitch, you leave my house."
tomorrow,
And she was like, "Well, I'm
or
gonna
I'm
take the
gonna
kids."
take, I'm gonna
And
take your
then,
kids." That's what she said to me. It's weird. Our
well, it's
stories
weird. Our
just
stories
lined
are the
up.
same. But
Were you
anyways,
her?
then I left, and she
She
took
was
my
gone.
kids, and
That's sad. That's a
And
rough time for you.
rough
You
time,
should
yeah.
probably quit drinking.
I should. Speaking of which, let's describe to the audience what today's topic is.
All right, I'm James. This is Joe.
I'm Joe.
We're here today to discuss the controversial topic of the drinking age.
Yes, the drinking age
Which,
here.
as we all know, is completely
Ridiculous.
voluntary.
Right, voluntary.
Right, you choose it. That's what's the problem.
Right, you choose when you can drink. So as
Now,
far
is
as
that
your
not,
will,
what if laws work this way? How are we going to progress as a society? You just choose them.
right,
It's
that's
too much
actually
freedom.
silly.
These kids aren't ready for that.
Right, you can't just choose whether or not you want to murder someone. That's just ridiculous. No.
Now, murder is interesting because, I mean, it's just a fascinating topic.
It is.
It's fun.
It is fun. It's a fun topic
It's a good
to discuss.
Yeah, of course. It's disgusting
Yes.
and
it's
discussable.
it is, yes.
Now let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Okay, so when I was a kid and I saw the movie Bartholomew by Dr. Smith and
It's about a
Wesson.
mule,
It's about a mule named Barth.
Barth.
Yes, and Barth the mule, Barth the
Barthol.
mule. He was actually a sentient mule who could speak English.
Now, why don't you define sentient for me?
Well, sentience is obviously defined by the fact that you are conscious of the consciousness that you're conscious.
No, within
And
that,
when you look at this and
how could it be
extrapolate the consciousness
so
from
that
your
I'm both
conscience,
awake?
the question arises: well,
and
how do we know
dead?
if others are conscious, and if we don't
Now,
know that
one
others
time
are
I
conscious?
woke up
And the fact is,
and I was feeling
you'll
good,
never
right?
know if that person
But
next to you is
then
conscious, and you
I
have to
went to
resist
the
that.
doctor and he said,
And
you have a C
really, when you
sharp
think about it this way,
that has moved down to your molecular
if you look at
level.
if you think of string theory, and string theory says that everything
And-
is actually a note on a string played by a fiddle, and the
Okay.
fiddle is
This is
actually
interesting.
played.
I'm going to stop my story.
All
You
right,
keep
so
going.
the fiddle is played by several people. At the
Fiddle is
same
also a
time.
verb.
Fiddle is
And
also a verb, yes.
You fiddle with something.
You could be.
It is a negative word, I believe.
Yes,
those
it's like your
fiddle. Like, take it easy. Stop it. Stop fiddling.
Stop fiddling. Yeah. Okay.
So now, is this suggesting that the universe should cease to be created? If this is
Well, I don't
if this
think
is
so.
its origin?
I don't think so, because you shouldn't, just because someone's fiddling, it doesn't give you the right to tell them to stop fiddling. I mean, fiddling.
But we
doesn't
all
have
know
to
what
be
the
bad.
opposite of fiddling is.
What's that?
I thought we were going to say it at the same time.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
I was just going to say what you were going to say.
Oh,
I thought it would work.
I didn't know what you were going to say. So how would that possibly work?
No,
That's
you were
silly.
just going to say something, and I was going to.
Oh,
I was going
so
to say it at
the opposite
same
of
time.
fiddling is.
No, you
clearly-
don't do it now. You don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
It was a test. I knew the whole time. There is no opposite. Because it is a neutral word. If something is
And neutral
both,
words. Do those even exist?
if it
Because
is
words can be up or
on
down.
the line- no, but
And
you
if
can
you look
also
at the
be right in
twist
the
and the
middle.
spin of the word,
Now, up and down.
up and down.
That's how the story goes, you know?
Yes, it goes
We've
up and down.
We've all been there. We've all had
every
it.
one of us. Every single one of us. has been
Everyone
in those
knows how to
moments
play
where you're like,
the
oh
fiddle.
shit,
That's what's so great
I'm
about
up.
it. You pick up a fiddle,
Another
you know how to
moment you're
play
like,
it.
oh shit, I'm down. And
I'm
a
actually
fiddle.
a level 4 professor.
Yes,
in
level 4
fiddleship.
professor. And I think you're a 6th level of professionalism. And when this it's a 6th level of professionalism, you actually become a professionalistic.
Now, what is a level?
At a level.
It's something you
go up or down.
beat.
Oh, it is something you beat. And if you
And
beat it,
what else
then
do
you
you
win.
beat?
And if you win,
Children,
you beat
no.
it. And
That's a law.
oh, that is a law. That is, you cannot beat children. That is wrong, and you are a disgusting human being if you beat children.
Discussable as well.
Discussable as well. Yes,
There are
we could
many
discuss this.
circles in this conversation.
There
now,
are.
Let's discuss circles.
The circles. Wow, circles are interesting because they actually have infinite amount
How many
of points.
corners do they have, Joe?
Oh, it's uncountable. That's
Too
what makes them
many.
circles. Too many circles. Too many corners. I mean, in each corner.
There's too many circles, to be honest. We all know.
Too many circles. In each corner, if you were to zoom in on a circle, you
What?
would never find corners
Now, I
because
was a
there's
corner.
an infinite amount of
My
them.
father was a corner as well.
Okay.
He would examine the dead bodies
Dead bodies. Yes.
and report back on them. Now,
who?
how
Who did he
many
report to?
corners did the circle have? What was the answer to that?
Infinite amount of
Infinite
corners.
corners.
Infinite corners.
That's a lot of dead bodies.
That is so many dead bodies. There's more
Or-
dead bodies than you could possibly count. So who's killing these people?
We got to go back to the murder law.
The murder law.
That's a
Yeah.
problem.
That is if you
Too
look
many
at,
murders.
if you
It
look
can't
at-
be voluntary.
And if you look at so many circles, every time you draw a circle, there's more corners.
we gotta fix it. You know how? Drinking.
Drinking.
It can
If
be
you-
voluntary.
It can be voluntary because
Spell
it's
voluntary. Say it.
voluntary. V-O.
Oh, what is O?
O is a circle. That's another infinite
screwed.
amount of deaths right there, or infinite amount of people with
We
solution.
can't. You
We
can't
do
just
that.
spell it.
You can't. No, you can't.
We're gonna
It's
lose.
horrible. We're already criminals. We did this already.
Now, what about seas? What do you say? Sea is like a, well, it's an ocean.
Yeah, a sea is an ocean.
But
yes.
in terms of the letter,
Oh, it's a sea of turmoil. That's what it is.
no, but ocean, we got to be watch out for that because it's got an O and a C. But
Yeah.
what I'm asking here is a C is about 5/6 of an O. Yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Now, how does this affect the death rate?
Well, if it's 5/6 of an O, but this is the interesting thing because infinity is always infinity no matter what.
Now, what if you divide it by 5, or you multiply it by 5/6?
Then it's still infinity. And here's the thing: even if you were to draw half a circle or a quarter of a circle, there'd still be an infinite amount of corners on it because it's curved. And
I feel like we need to renew this issue in a sense of reliving the paradigm and
Right.
going back and
Right, yes.
resetting it to should we be allowed to write any sort of shapes ever
right.
at the risk of creating more deaths?
Right, and it's clearly something that we have to discuss more. It's clearly something that the politicians, such as President Trump and his
That's the guy.
yeah, he's the president of the United States right now, and some stuff like that, and several priests must discuss this as well because people go to confession and they talk about these circles.
I mean, but
clearly,
I mean, is a C kind of not a backwards P with a line through it, with a line missing? Excuse me.
we'll see the line. A P would be the half circle or a C, a reversed
An
C,
infinite.
an infinite C, infinite amount of corners plus a line which is 4 corners. So it's infinity plus 4. So that's 4 more than the circle would have.
Depending on if the line has any sort of width to it. If it is an infinitely skinny line, as a line truly is, it is only two-dimensional.
Don't dimensional. That's correct. Yes.
So is there a corner there?
Yes. Well, a
Can
corner
a
is
line be
defined-
drawn?
Can a line be drawn between
Can
the
a line
drinking
be
age
drawn?
and murdering?
How are we
people?
going to level the number?
Well, if we level the number at the sea level, then it would
Which I
rise
believe is
through the
40
floor.
40
And this
meters
would continue through the
beneath,
roof, and the
40
numbers are through the
40 foot
roof.
sea
They're
level?
absolutely through the roof. It's just preposterous.
roof?
My roof. My
No,
roof. Right now.
why
You can
were
see
you
the hole in the
chosen
roof.
to do this?
I was
Spell roof,
chosen
Joe.
by
We've been through that roof's out of the conversation.
the roof out.
There's too
Roof's
many O's.
gone?
There's two.
Oh, there's two O's. That's
O's.
two
There's
infinities.
Two infinities.
That's insane. That's an uncountable number of infinities.
Now, all right. If there's an infinite number of deaths,
Okay.
that's an infinite number of lives.
Right.
So, by creating all these deaths, are we not reestablishing life in the universe?
Well, that's an interesting point you make there, James. Well,
Point.
if you think point,
Shapes have points.
shape to it.
Corners have points.
Yes,
Do coroners have points?
I would say so. Yes. What is their
their
point?
their blades have points.
They do have blades
Those,
with
those
points.
murderers.
Yeah. And
It's not what a corner is, but we'll
No.
deal with that later.
Yes, we will deal with later.
I think we were productive in this session,
We were. All
and
right, thank you for
I think we've
made our points.
started a dialogue
Yes, we
that
have.
needed to be created.
And now hopefully people will go out into the world and they'll think about what we said, and they'll think what we thought was not what we thought. And when they think about this, their minds will start to twirl.
But those thoughts, they're only in their head, Joe.
Right, and they're only in their head
That's where we should keep
because
them.
they're thoughts, and that's where your thoughts should stay. So, shut
Just
up.
try and say your thoughts. It's impossible. It becomes more than a
like
thought.
think about your thought, and as soon as you think about it, it's a different thought. Because now you're
How
thinking
many
about the
thoughts
thought
do we
you
have per
just had.
second? Can it be
several.
Can it be quantized?
Because as soon as you think about that thought, then that's 2 thoughts, and now there's 3 thoughts, and maybe even 4. And as soon as you get to 4 thoughts per second, wow, that's pretty fast.
That's crazy.
That's crazy speed.
We have reached a new level. Did we talk about levels yet? I
We did
feel
talk
like
about
we
levels.
did.
We talked about levels, yes.
Okay, I think we don't need to hit upon that anymore. I think this is good.
All right, let's go.
All right, we'll see you, folks.
We'll see you, folks. Thanks for listening.